Okay, for all you gearheads out there, you know I've spent a lot of time putting gears together over my life, and there's really not a good video out there that shows how to put a gear together. What I'm going to attempt to show you here today is a good, simple way to put gears together where whenever you put the gear together, you're not driving on bearings where you damage the bearing and gall the shaft. So what we're doing right now, we got a little $10 hot plate here. We're just now taking the gear up to 225 degrees. It's ready to come off here now. And if you watch what I'm getting ready to do, is I'm going to take the gear off. I've made these three guide bolts to put in the back of the gear to line it up to put on the locker here. This is a locker that we use here at Baird Motorsports. We built it here at Baird Motorsports. Got a 1/4 inch more engagement on the slider gear than most lockers have. So anyway, it's time for this to come off. We're basically just taking it off and starting three of the guide bolts in the back of the ring gear. These guide bolts make it where whenever you get done, you don't have a misalignment here. You can get your bolts on. So hopefully this first attempt here is going to work out great for us. Like I said, I take the gear up. I don't like to go over 375 degrees on the gear because the metallurgical properties start playing in a little bit higher than that. So always keep it underneath that 300 degree mark. And then basically, and as you notice, the gear went down. It went all the way down. The reason for this is this way you never gall your locker. It can create a problem with like some material being scraped off behind. So now, again, the bolts we use here, we make these bolts here a special length where I get 100% of the thread in it. And all I'm going to do right now is start the bolts for the ring gear. And right now, all we're going to do is tighten these up enough to set the gear up, and then at a later time we'll come back and take each one of these bolts out and Loctite them so as to make sure that the bolts don't back out. If it's done properly, you'll never have a problem with the bolts backing out. And all I'm doing is just barely run these in here to just a light torque for right now. It's, like I said, this is just for setup purposes right now. At this time here, we're setting it up. Now, I'm going to do the same thing to my two bearings. These are your bearings go on your locker. I'm doing the same thing to them. I'm putting them on here. This way these don't have to be pressed on here. I never do any damage to the bearings doing it this way. Again, very important to stay underneath that 300 degree temperature mark on this. So as you can see, everything lined up perfect. Take the studs out now. These right here, guys, are very important. You ever have any misalignment on it? Real simple makeup. Take you some bolts, cut them off, and you get your guide bolts. Okay, that part's good. Now we're just waiting for these two bearings to heat up. It doesn't normally take these over about 3 or 4 minutes to heat up. What's neat about it is, again, whenever I set these bearings onto the locker, I don't have to worry about hurting the bearing, trying to press it on or driving it on, possibly getting it on crooked and not knowing it. This way here, I know the bearing's going down to its proper seat and it will not give me any problems. Okay, these bearings are proper heat now. Again, about 275 degrees. We're going to take one of them at a time. I got these little drivers I've made up. As you notice, that bearing slid right on. No effort. And I run like a 4,000 press fit on these new lockers, so this bearing's not going to come loose. You just got to give it a little bit of time for the heat in the bearing to go to the locker housing itself, and then you're in good shape. I've got a little tool here I made just to throw this on here, and after everything cools down, I just give it, just to hear that one solid sound is all I'm looking for. Now all I have to do is flip it over on the other side, take the other bearing housing, it's going to slide, or the other bearing is going to slide right onto the locker. This on, we're just going to again tuck it down. Now what I'm going to do now is, before I set any more of the gear up, I'm going to let all this right here cool down to become ambient temperature where I don't have to worry about, we're not getting ready to set the gear up, the bearings still haven't heated them. I won't bring this down to ambient temperature now. I got other things we'll be doing during this time, so we'll move on to the next step.